Welcome to truly the Paul Pierce Report. I am Jared Weiss. I'm next to Nick Gelso. This program is brought to you by ZipRecruiter, and if only we had a third host on this program.
Well. What's up, fellas?
And number 34 is in the house.
There was a tribute tonight.
Jimmy Toscano from Metro Boston of Celtics blog and CLNS radio legend is on the show.
You were born like this.
All right, well, Jimmy's looking flawless. This game, it was a flawless afternoon before the Super Bowl. Here we're going to be really quick because I know you guys want to watch the Super Bowl. We do. I don't care about you guys.
I would rather talk about Paul Pierce for 3 hours.
Okay, so let's talk about Paul Pierce for, let's say, 3 minutes. So first off were the introductions, where Paul goes out there. He does the old dice game routine that they used to do when the Big Three was together.
Yep.
They break it out for this one, and it was fantastic. The ovations are incredible, and then the video after the first time out, the tribute to Paul Pierce was so intense that Doc Rivers couldn't even look up because he knew the waterworks would flow. Paul just sat on the bench and just wiped the tears away. I mean, Nick, you traveled all the way up just to watch this one.
Truly incredible. It was worth every mile I traveled, gentlemen, because to see Paul Pierce last time on this court is it's quite an honor. And he lived up to the billing, no doubt about it. And the Garden was just as good better than Paul was in the game because Paul only played 6 minutes.
Was this better than the Bill Russell send-off that you were here for?
That was, yeah, that was, you know what I mean? You got me good there. Yeah, no.
No, but all jokes aside, and we mentioned this during the game, Paul Pierce to guys like me and Jared is like Larry Bird to you and to that sort of generation.
Right.
And I think, you know, the way it ended tonight, and we haven't gotten to the ending yet, but the way it ended and the way it began with the introductions and just everyone in the Garden tonight, you know, people thought, oh, I wish this was on a different day. You know, it's kind of getting overshadowed by the Super Bowl. Not in here, because everybody in this arena is a diehard Celtics fan and a diehard Paul Pierce fan, and you heard that from start to finish.
And it was packed. The arena was packed, and everybody stayed till, and good thing they did, till the very end. Actually, till Paul finished talking to the media, kissed the leprechaun, and then the crowd started to file out. It was a great day. Great day.
And most importantly, Paul got in there after like every different variation of a Paul Pierce chant that you could possibly have. He finally got in with 17 seconds left, I believe. And come on, we all knew that he was going to be in there for the last play. They were going to foul. Jamal Crawford commit a flagrant foul.
I was just getting a little nervous because the Clippers.
It was getting close.
It was a close game, and I was like, well, they're not going to put him in if it's going to be a one-possession game. So the Celtics need to do what they got to do here. If the fans want to see him, their team has to step up for them and expand this lead. And sure enough.
I got a question for you guys. Now, you both have been covering the Garden, the Celtics, for several seasons. Have you ever seen anything like where the audience cheers, "We want the opposing player"? I mean, I realize the opposing player is the former captain of the team.
Well, Gordon Hayward a few weeks ago, if you ask Jay Crowder. I wonder if Jay Crowder was pissed off about this one.
But truth is, it's special. I mean, it's not often seen in sports with something like this.
That was the loudest word-specific chant I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was so unbelievably loud, and they were like kind of off between the two sides of the stadium.
Yep.
So just it was like a high-pitched reverberation of just like banshee screams, basically, for Paul.
In terms of the fans sort of taking over with their own chants and just rocking the stadium, the only thing I can compare it to is when the Celtics were getting blown out by the Miami Heat.
And they "Let's go Celtics."
The "Let's go Celtics" chant just rang through in like a 20, 30-point blowout.
But the arena was half empty at that point. This was a full crowd.
Right.
It was pretty awesome.
The point is that's the only thing I compare it to where the fans sort of like understood the situation type thing, and the players and at the time Doc Rivers talked about it after the game how these fans are, you know, second to none. They get it. They're, you know, so passionate, and we saw that tonight. And I think because it was, again, on national TV, I think a lot of people on the outside who maybe don't see what it's like to be a Boston
great
fan.
Advertisement for free agents and potential trade prospects.
Yeah, that's
right?
true, too.
I mean, because we know how the Celtics fans know how to treat their players.
And Doc said before the game, talking to the team, that he wanted all of his players to go out there and pay attention to the reception that Paul got, because
I thought that was awesome.
That's what you have to work for your career. And Doc said that he wants his players to be completely emptied out of everything they have within them by the time they walk away from the game, and that they've really left it all out there. And Paul is the perfect example of a player who has left it all out there. And the reception he got was absolutely unbelievable. It was truly a historic occasion, and that shot at the end was truly historic. It was going to be his first game in his career where he didn't score while playing in the Garden, and of course he had to erase it. He got to a spot on the left elbow, which he told me wasn't pre-planned, but that's where he hit that Al Harrington three. He's had a lot of big threes from that left wing right there. There's actually a little stain on the piece of wood right there. I'm not even kidding. But that shot was incredible. I mean, Isaiah kind of backed out of the way to let him get the shot. Not that it mattered at his height.
He had the audacity to hit the shot.
Right.
You know,
mean,
that's really what it
sometimes
comes down to.
Sometimes those shots are harder when guys
They
just
are.
letting you take it.
Sure.
This was, I thought, and not trying to compare like whose send-off was better, but Kobe's last year, everyone's like, oh my God, he scored 60 whatever points. Come on, I mean, the guy took a billion shots. This one, it didn't feel like it was forced at all. Like everything was natural, and it was just like the fact that he hit that shot. I mean, coming off the bench, sitting there for 2.5 hours, with everyone screaming your name and all that emotion, I just feel like that was just like a
I gotta
movie
say,
script ending.
I know it's ice cold outside, but the chills going on in this Garden today. I mean, I think media, like everybody, was just so pumped up to see Paul Pierce sent off with in the classy way, classy fashion. The Celtics did it today.
We were totally shocked by what we saw, but I
No,
think
because
a lot of the national media.
I think so for sure.
Well, Paul Pierce got an ovation even from the media at
Yes,
the end of his press
I'd never
conference.
seen that.
And what was great was he said, just going back to that shot, he did say that he thought that the fans would lynch Doc
Yeah,
if
he
he
did.
didn't get put in the game.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an aggressive way to describe it. But Doc said that
Doc was putting him in.
he did. Doc said I didn't have a choice. That it was like actually Doc made his own kind of dark reference.
Yeah,
he said
he did.
it was like the mob
The
that every
mob.
time you think they're out, they pull you back in. And
Right.
hey, Doc
Doc's
made
a
the right
class
move,
act.
which you knew he was going to
He knew
do.
he was gonna go in.
It was a storybook ending, and it was a great way to end the Garden Report. So you're going to go watch the Super Bowl in a few minutes. Thank you
So
for
are we.
watching this. Before we go, ZipRecruiter is the way to hire somebody in the 21st century. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan to post your job to over 200 job sites, and maybe you could even work for a company like CLNS if you use that. So thank you to everybody here, for Nick Gelson, for Jimmy
Thanks,
Toscano,
Nick.
Thank
for
you,
Kyle
guys.
George working
Thanks,
his
Jared.
last game behind the
Kyle.
camera.
Yes, Kyle.
Come out here.
Before
Come here,
he
Kyle.
takes over as the Celtics
The
digital
s-
Look at this
assistant.
good-looking guy.
This guy right here.
You should be in front of the camera, to be completely honest.
So this
Yeah.
is the guy that's made the Garden Report what it is today over the last few years. He's going to work for the Celtics now. Do you have, I guess, like one last statement to say?
Go Pats.
That's a
Hey,
good
go
answer.
That's
Celtics,
pretty
since
much
you
his
work for the
personality in a
Celtics.
nutshell. So that is it from the Garden. We'll see you next time on the Garden Report.
Peace out.